Hi everyone, welcome to the next video in our series from Rita Berman's New Asian book, and we have done these 3 items already. If you've missed the videos, you can pop back afterwards into my profile and you should be able to find them, but we're going to be working on this one today. It doesn't really matter if you do them out of order, they're each being done, so I'm just moving a few things so I can move my book along. Each one is being done as a separate item, although there are similarities between them. So what we are doing is, for example, this one, the brown from the back is being used for the outline. This one has got some gold and this one has got some purple. So, so there'll be something here going on. One of the colours from here will be on the outside, and also the backgrounds are a colour fading into the middle, getting lighter towards the centre, and I might continue that too. Now we have here a sort of, let's straighten it up a bit, there we go, a sort of coconut drinking container, I guess, which is slightly painted. I've really got no idea how to colour this really. What I'm going to do is start with the coconut part, because I've got an idea on how to do that, and then move on. I don't think I'm going to use that colour that I just picked up there, and then move on through and just see how it goes really. So I'm going to start with my yellow ochre light and do the bit that looks like coconut, so the top piece here. And I know this is really pale, this is just my base layer, so I'm not pressing really hard because I don't want to burnish the paper, burnish it into the paper and get rid of all the tooth. If I squash down the paper, then I won't be able to fit any more layers on, and this is too pale for a coconut, but because coconuts are sort of furry, hairy maybe is the right word, we're going to try and do that with our next pencil. I'm going to use the Van Dyck brown. It's not the darkest brown, I will be using a darker one as well, and I'm going to draw on the sort of hairs, lots and lots of them, little tiny lines like this, trying to go in the direction of the lines that Rita has put on for us, and that should help. I'm hoping to sort of cover a really big area so we can't see much of that light colour underneath, but it's just there so that it's not white underneath. And I'll put on an even darker colour in a minute. Now background for this one I'm not really sure, because some of the others have sort of indicated a background of the turtle above here. I did a sort of watery background, and the umbrella I did a sort of sky background. But for the lantern I just did a green background because I thought the colour would go quite well, and I was pleased with how it came out. For this one I'm not really sure. I sort of thought, oh, sky, but then no, it doesn't have to be. So I'm thinking I've got a few ideas that maybe the background of here or the flower colour we might sort of match in with the background or something. So there's my next layer, and we're going to go in with the even darker brown, which is the burnt umber, and just put another layer of lines. You need them to be fairly sharp to get the defined line. This one actually probably isn't sharp enough. I'm just going to sharpen it. Now I noticed on Instagram a lot of people are now getting their copies of this book. I think it's been a bit slow for people who live outside of the UK or outside of Europe, because it's not on Amazon.com. So a lot of the Americans I think are ordering from Book Depository, and of course Book Depository is based in the UK, which means it has to be shipped across to the USA, and I suspect shipping is free, which indicates to me that they don't use a very fast shipping company. They probably use Royal Mail, to be honest, and that'll take you 5 to 10 days to receive. Okay, I'm happy with that one. If you want it a little bit darker still, you could use a little bit of black in there, but I'm happy with it being a nice warm brown colour. Okay, my next thought is this little bit in between. There's some dots on it and I'm thinking, is that the actual coconut flesh within the lid part, or is it supposed to be the bubbles from the drink? I think it's going to be easier to colour it as if it was coconut flesh. Now the book paper is white, and coconut is white, so I'm just going to try and use the white. This is the titanium white, and see whether it makes any difference at all to the look of it. It doesn't really, does it? Maybe it looks a little bit white, or maybe it's spread some of the brown into it. I don't know. I'm just going to leave that there. Now, oh, and we also have this bit. No, that wouldn't be flesh. Sorry, I was just thinking this bit. But no, that's part of the painted on design. Now, what I'm going to do next is do these little details in a very hard, thick layer, because when I do the background, I'm going to just colour over them because it'll be a lot easier. But I have to be careful because if I do it too thick, it might smudge. So we've got the leaves. I'm going to do them in, which colour should we do? Let's use this one. We'll use the Prussian green. I'm going to sharpen it. Obviously they are very small. And what I think I'm going to do is do these in the Prussian green, then do those florals in a purple, and do that line in a purple, and then do the background in a pink. That's my thought. Although I had thought about doing a pink background. So maybe I'll do the flowers in a lavender or a pale purple. No, the flowers in a dark purple, the background in a paler purple, and then of this, and then the background of the page in a pink. Maybe that'll work. I think that might be nice to do a pink background, be a bit different. So this is really simple colouring. I'm just blocking in the colour. It's very small, so it doesn't really need a lot of, there isn't space to do anything more than just pop some colour down really. Like that. And so a dark purple, the darkest purple I think, is it the Mulberry? Do you have a Mulberry? Yeah. So I've got to sharpen it. It's a very small space. Now I have noticed that the bit the plant's leaves are on has got a line in between it and where the flowers are. This is the Mulberry. So it might indicate that these two bits are different colours. I'm not sure though. I think I quite like the idea of keeping them the same colour. So I might just do that. I'm quite tempted to use this Mulberry on the umbrella, but I might use it for the circles on the outside. Might be a bit too much if I use it for the umbrella as well, but on the other hand I could make the circle outside green. Oof, it's a difficult decision, isn't it? Now I'm going to make this bit this colour too, and then it sort of ties it together. I saw someone drinking out of coconut the other day near my local supermarket. I only assume they must sell them, but unless I dreamt it, because it's a really odd thing. I've never seen them for sale. Perhaps I did. Maybe I am just going slightly batty. Who knows? Right, heather purple is what I'm going to use for this background of this. So what I'm going to try and do, because we have a rounded shape, is to see if I can make it a little bit darker on the outside and a bit paler towards the centre, just to make it look a little rounder. And because I'm using purple, I can go over the top of this one without any worry. I'm actually going to go over the top of the green as well. Now what I want you to see is it more layered up here, and then less and fading towards about here, which is the center. I don't want it completely empty in the center of color because it's not metallic. It's not going to actually reflect light and shine. The idea is just to make it look a little bit more rounded. So I'm just going to color the whole thing quickly. You see how I'm cheating? I'm not trying to go around. If you try and color around little details, it's a lot more difficult to get an even color. I was actually asked about teaching how to do an even colour. It's really difficult to teach. It's something you just need to practice. Now say, look at this. I want these two bits darker. This one is darker than this one. So all I need to do is just put another layer on here until to my eye it looks similar. Okay, and then fading. It's really about just layering up, because here's a little bit too light. So it's just layering up the side that looks slightly lighter until you get a more even coverage. If you keep layering up both, then you'll never get them matching. There we go. Now our umbrella. Am I going to do it in purple and the straw? Straws are normally stripy, not just plain. I'm going to make this stripy. I haven't really thought it through with that. So now it is white and purple stripes. Right, the umbrella. I'm going back to the Mulberry, oops, it's out of shot, to do, I think, the edges of each little piece would be a bit darker. Cocktail umbrellas, I used to love them. Just going to gently bring that colour in. I may not need to do a lighter colour. I'll just see how it looks when I'm done. It's just doing less as I come in. I mean, often these umbrellas have lovely patterns on, but I'm keeping this one plain. And yeah, I used to love them. Open them and close them. You'd have a little plastic piece on the stick to push up to keep it open. Such fun. Okay, now we need a stick on our umbrella. I'm going to go for our mid brown tone, which was the Van Dyck brown. Oops. I don't want it really dark though, so I'm just going to put a really light layer on. But I feel like if I use the light brown it will be a bit too yellowy. So I'm just going to put a little bit on there. Now I'm hoping that once we put our pink background on, this bit of white coconut will look right. We'll see how it looks. I'm just going to pick my colours. I don't want it to be too brash and bright because I want the centre part to stand out. I think I will start with this though, which is the Jaipur pink. It is a very reddish bright pink, but I'm only going to do a little bit on the very edge. And fade it. This is the same technique that I've used on the other circles. And what I like about these is that you can use it as a great way to practice the little background, or you can just leave them white, you know. It's just a bit of fun. It's a nice page to have a go at, definitely. Oh, my desk is creaking again as I move my arm around. I can't really mess with it at the minute, it's got so much stuff under it. But I'll have a tidy up in here once our building work is finished. And get it all organised. So, ooh, creak. You might not be able to hear it anyway. Okay, now I am going to go with my lighter pink. I can actually already see a bit that I've done too lightly. Right, the lighter pink. I am thinking this one will probably be good. This is the Grenadine Light, and I'm just going to basically pull that colour towards the middle, keeping it really light towards the centre. And so we get a pink background. It's a bit brash, isn't it? But I guess that's okay. If you like pink, you'll like it. I think it works well with the purple too. And it's a different colour because I'm struggling to think of what colours to put behind everything. So I haven't really thought it through too much. I don't know if we're going to be able to put a different colour behind each one. Okay, I am just going to use a much lighter pink just to finish off the centre. This is the rose pink. So I just want to build up the layers of colour without it getting too dark. So I hope everyone's well. I hope everyone's been able to have a go at doing some colouring today or yesterday. And it's nice to do a little bit, even if it's only 5 minutes, or a little bit of doodling or something like that, just to keep your hand in it really. And I know some people get a bit of a colouring block, it can be tricky. Right, now the outside. I am definitely going to do the outside in green, because the green doesn't really stand out, and I think if we use the Prussian green that we used here, it might just help that stand out a little bit, because it's got a lot of purple, a lot of pink as well going on. I'm going to slightly fade the green as I go towards the edge of our arc, like that. I don't want to leave too much white, but I just want it to look paler there. Gosh, it's raining so hard. So lucky. Me and the boys went out this morning. My son needed a new academic diary for college. I'm recording this in advance. He's already back at college by the time this goes out. But so we popped into WH Smith's. They're not sponsoring me. It's the only place we have. Oh, actually, I just remember we've got an independent stationery shop which we should have shopped in. Never mind. And we went there and we picked it up for him, and we got a few groceries, and we went to the sweet shop, as you do when your kids are on their last week of holiday. I bought myself some 100% chocolate. It's a brand called Seed and Bean. It's a lovely brand actually. My kids love their white chocolate and strawberry, I think it is. But the 100% is a bit hit and miss, to be honest. Sometimes it's a little bit acidic, sometimes it's really bland, but it's not my favourite brand. But my favourite brand isn't in stock in the sweet shop at the moment, and I can buy it online directly from them, but I can only buy it in big. It's not worth me buying one. You know, if I can buy 6 bars or something, I get free postage. But because we haven't got much storage space for stuff at the moment, because of having the kitchen done, I don't want to have loads of chocolate hanging around. So I just bought this other bar, and the children chose some as well. I'm not sure what they bought actually. One of them had a sort of chocolate with biscuit on the back. It was a Rita. I can't remember what the other one got. I think they got a Rita as well, but I can't remember what it was. But anyway, they did that. So they had some spoils, because you know, you spoil them on the last week of term, despite lecturing them about being really healthy. I'm looking for my white Posca pen to do the finishing touches on this. I can't find it. I used it in my last video that I made. Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm going to do, the dots around the edge like I've done on all of the other ones. Now, but I'm going to add a few other dots, I think, as well. Because this is a little bit, some of the things don't stand out as well as I'd like. Oh, excuse me. So I'm going to put a few highlights on there. We've done that on some of the other ones as well. So this is really easy and relaxing. Dot, 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 dot. So firstly, I think we'll draw in some of these lines on the umbrella, and then I think we'll put some dots on this to help it to stand out a little bit. Maybe in the middle too. Gosh, it's raining hard. I don't know if you can hear it. It's actually battering on the window. Now these circles here, I don't know. I'm going to put a dotty pattern on here. I think it's just gonna make it look nice. There we go. Right, I am done. Let me just twist that so you can see it straight, because I always knock it squiffy. So there is our next one. So that is our little video for today. So thank you for watching. I hope that was okay for you. That's all I've got to say really. Have a lovely day and happy colouring.